What up guys, Dylan here. I'm going to be doing my first cycle and documenting the whole thing. I'm going to be doing EQ only and run that for as long as I can by itself just to see how it feels and like what all the mental effects are. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't see any information online, forums or YouTube or anything of people running EQ as like their base anabolic. And I don't see people reporting effects of that because usually when people run the EQ, they run it with other stuff, which pretty much all the documentation is of, like people having EQ added on to like crazy cycles. So it's hard to like figure out exactly what EQ does. So what I'm going to do is just run EQ just completely by itself with no test for multiple weeks and just report back on the mental effects, physical effects, everything that's going down. I'm going to have the test on hand and I'm eventually going to add it in, but until then I'm just going to have just the EQ just so I can, do what I said and educate others on how it feels and everything, all the effects, and also educate myself too, so in the future when I add EQ in a cycle, if I want to, I know what to expect and know what it's going to do. Yeah, so the cycle plan is doing a front load of 1200, 2 different days on the first week. So it's going to be a 2400 front load. And then after that, the following weeks is going to be 800 milligrams a week. And I'm going to run it for 16 to 20 weeks, anywhere in between there. And I don't know when I'm going to add the tests in, most likely sooner than later, maybe around 4 or 5 weeks is what I'm thinking, but we'll see. And then later on down the line, I'm going to have Anavar I might add in towards the end. I'll just have that ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to be documenting everything for you guys. I'll be doing at least once a week videos on just this subject, hopefully more. I do have everything on hand. Oh yeah, also forgot to mention, it's my first real cycle I say, but it's not my first cycle. I did test D a while ago by itself just to kind of see if this was something for me. I did 300 milligrams for 12 weeks. I ran a full PCT and all that, fully recovered. And when I did that, I bulked like way too hard, but that was a while ago. And so I have a base of like how things work and a feel for all that. And the info I took from that cycle is a reason why I'm doing EQ on this cycle. I'm like really sensitive to DHT, hair loss wise, and I'm hoping I could see if EQ could kind of mitigate that and still have the anabolic effects from cycling that many milligrams of drugs. So with that said, from the previous experience, I have an idea of what I'm doing. I have my AIs on hand. I have both Romacin and Arimidex on hand. I have Nolvadex. I have HCG. I have Accutane, and I have finasteride as well. And I have a couple other things on hand as well. I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I'm fully ready, fully prepared. I've done injections before, so not a big deal. But this will do like full, I call it the real cycle because it's like actually a high dose. And I mean, my other thing that I did was like more like a TRT, high dose TRT. So yeah, first real cycle, documenting the whole thing. If you guys want to tune in, subscribe, and let's get it going.